Hey guys, it's Ruby. Today is October 23rd, 2016. This is the 2.5-year update of the turtle pond. So as you can see over here, we have a lot of green on the side now of the pond. We planted some grass. I put some flat stones there for the turtles to climb out and go on, but they kind of got taken over. The pond area is a little bit overgrown. We have, like you can see here, there's a lot of grass that's just climbed itself and is growing inside of the waterfall. One thing I did is I took off the pipes that the water's splashing into the waterfall, so that way it causes a lot more aeration. The action on the surface is basically what makes most of the aeration happen, so that's why I felt that was the most important. We got some water lettuce growing here, and as you can see over there, there's also hyacinth and water lettuce. Now, I've been away from the pond for a long time, and I put in watercress, but then I'm pretty sure it all went out. But then, as you can see here, it came back in full force. So we got a lot of watercress growing. We even have some duckweed growing over there in the corner, and I'll show you more on the other side. So watercress and duckweed, really good plants. You don't have to do any care. Try and get rid of them, and they always come back. They grow a little bit too much. They grow very fast, but it's pretty good. Here you can see the hyacinth and the lettuce. There was a lot more in the pond. Over the past couple years, we've got points where almost the whole entire pond is full of hyacinth. So now we kind of take it out pretty regularly, but that's a really good one. In general, I think it's good to have a lot more of the plants than there are in right now. But we just took a lot out because it was covering up most of the pond. Ever since then, we had two turtles before. But now we have 5, so we got 3 more rescues. But they like hide down in the garbage can that I put down here. You kind of can't see it because of the reflection, but there's a garbage can under there. 2 garbage cans connected together with the bottoms cut off so the turtles can climb in. A ton of mosquitofish. I don't know if you can see them in here, but we probably have hundreds of mosquitofish. I start off with 10 and they just grow exponentially. They have live babies, so a lot of little fish. They're nice. They keep the mosquitoes at bay, and they eat pretty much everything. You don't really have to feed them. They self-regulate, so you get as many mosquito fish as the environment can handle. Here you can see the water flowing down the rocks. Basically, I piled up rocks, and then the water came down. Here's some of that duckweed I was talking about. Now, if I would do this again, one of the regrets I have is that instead of having it spill down over the rocks, I would make a spillway so that it would splash into the pond so you get more aeration. Right now there's not too much aeration happening. Pretty much from here, this is the outflow of the 2-inch PVC pipe. So that's kind of the only aeration that's happening. The water that's coming on the waterfall is not too much happening, and the roots from the watercress actually get so thick that they clog it up. So it's important to keep an eye on that because the water will start moving off the side of the pond. One thing we got over there is a floating solar-powered water pump, and it's actually really cool. It's very small, but when in full sun, it starts sprouting water. Now there's no sun, so it's not really working. But it's actually a really cool idea. I think if I would do it, I would get a bigger one, so you can have some good aeration. But it's just a floating pond. You can find them on Amazon. Here's the skimmer, and inside the skimmer, it's a little gross. Basically, I have one pump in here and one pump in the bottom. The pumps are both 1,000 gallons per hour, but they get clogged up with algae and stuff. One thing that with 5 turtles, and here we can see 3 of them here, with so many turtles, that creates a lot of waste, and so we end up needing. There's a lot of nutrients. You get a lot of algae. Definitely need a lot of plants to take up those nutrients, so you don't get a lot of algae growing. But otherwise, it's pretty good. Hyacinths are doing great. We get a lot of bees. The bees like to come and drink water from our pond, so that's nice. Last time I took the video, we showed you about the radial flow filter. So just a quick recap. There's one pump in the bottom in there that comes into this pipe, and another one in here. Last time I showed you the radial flow filter, the pipes come on the side over here, comes into here, comes into the garbage can. The garbage can is really tall. A lot of snails, by the way, a ton of snails. And then the water goes, it comes up and then it goes down and comes out here. Now, this radial flow filter is really good at capturing solids. I don't know if you can see, but it's really dirty in there. but because the pump is chopping up the waste as it goes in, so the radial flow filter is really the wrong choice for this pond. If I would do it again, if I had time to fix it, I would make it into a sand gravel filter, which is much better at trapping the solids, and then you can really easily clean it up with like a leaf blower. Not the same. This is oh look, we got a little fish in here. This is the bio filter. So we have some here. We have a couple of these floating balls that came with a pump box, and then inside of here we just have a ton of these sponges. Let's see. These kind of sponges, and you can actually see they're getting brown, so it's a lot of good bacteria growing on this, and it's working really well. The plants are growing like crazy, the fish are growing, everything's doing really well. Added a couple little plants on the side. There we just, it looks like the turtles were just fed. You can see the mosquito fish like to come and eat all the food. Let's see if we get a good angle so you can see that in action. There's a turtle. But that is the 2.5 year update. Yeah, pretty much that's it. So, and in general, the radial flow filter is not really good for this kind of setup. The radial flow filter is really, I got inspired from aquaponics gardens, but then where you have elevated fish tank. So the fish tank, kind of the water flows gravity fed into a radial flow filter, but when you're pumping from a pump, it doesn't really accomplish it. It does trap a lot of solids, so it does work, but it's really not ideal, I think. Skimmer's working okay. It gets clogged up really quick. Other than that, it's really good. Some aeration over there. So far, we've been happy with it. No really big catastrophes or anything like that. One thing that I would change also is the skimmer. The water level gets low and then it gets empties out. So what I did is I made a little U-bend siphon that goes into the skimmer box, so that way the water level stays the same in the skimmer box that it does in the pond. Because sometimes we find ourselves having to put in a lot of water over and over and over again. But other than that, we'll see how it goes. Right now, this biofilter it seems to be handling the 5 turtles, and we just need a lot more plant cover. I feel like the hyacinth and the water lettuce are really good plants. They stay on the surface of the water, so they block sun, and they have dangling roots, so they're floating. They just really grow crazy. Like they end up taking up like they get the whole pond covered really quick. But I feel like with this kind of bio load from the turtles, you definitely need a lot of plants and a lot of filtration. If I would do it again, I would maybe go without turtles. The turtles are fun. I guess it depends. It's up to you. If you like plants like me, then you would probably stick with fish. I tried having all different kinds of plants, and the turtles would just climb on everything and rip them up. But this is kind of like when you leave it. We planted grass on the sides over here, but this is kind of just like wild growth. And pretty much that is the 2.5 year update, and so far so good. The biomedia is working really well. Okay, that's Ruby signing out. Enjoy. Thank you very much. Bye.